very powerful free tools, business tools to grow. What is that? The header up there. Oh. Anyway, what it's supposed to say is thank
It's
you.
supposed to say five free growth tools, excuse me, for married entrepreneurs.
Yes, outside of social media. So here's the thing.
But now it
We
looks like 5 for 5.
Yeah, but hopefully y'all get that as you're coming in. It's gonna be good. Um, we won't be before you long, but we do wanna come in and just drop these on you with you because we know that far too many marriedpreneurs look to build their legacy on and using tools that are where they don't control their audience. They don't own. When I say control, they don't own their market or their list, right? Because on social media, as we know yesterday, everything could just shut down. And if that is your strategy alone, then you'll be in a lot of trouble waiting for someone else to approve your use of connecting with your people. So,
Yeah, let me say this. The reason why this is so important to really discuss for those of you who are building out your legacies using business, listen, yesterday, so many businesses were impacted by
mhm,
what happened. So it would
yes,
be, you know, truly remiss for us to not speak to it, to not address it. And here's the reality: we were impacted by
mhm,
it as well. Nonetheless,
mhm.
this is why we want to bring to you these free tips and tools so that you can be thinking as you guys are building to not put yourself in such a place of vulnerability
Mhm.
where you're at such a great mercy to platforms that we don't own.
Yeah, and I think you should clarify too. We weren't impacted in the way where we couldn't move because they didn't
No,
move.
not
So
where we
let's
couldn't
let's finish
move.
that off
We were
because
impacted in a way where we had to pivot,
you got to
like all
pivot.
good entrepreneurs must do.
Yeah, but sometimes people think, oh, when things don't go the way that you expect for them to go, then well, I guess I can't do anything. Well, I'm stuck, or what am I supposed to do? What was me type of thing. But that is not the case when you have a solid system in place. And so today we just want to share some of these systems, tools, free growth tools for visibility. And I know there are many, and there are many ways to win as you're building out your legacy. But the thing about it is this. Um, you know, you don't have to do all the things in order to see results. And so as we share these strategies with you all, hey fam in Jamaica and Chi-town, all the good stuff. So as we share these tools with you, you will be able to jump on them and start implementing them as soon as you're ready to do so, as soon as you're ready to see results. So what we decided to do, we weren't even thinking about doing this until we were about to go live, and we're like, you know what, we should make sure this is more so evergreen and share this as a episode on our podcast. So this won't be for a couple of months, or probably next month, I'm thinking, or maybe next year. But either way, y'all don't have to wait. That's the beautiful thing about this. So we'll go ahead and dive in. Before I do that, I should let you know that the latest episode on the Marriedpreneur Life podcast is focusing on Q4
Systems
systems for
for married
married
entrepreneurs.
entrepreneurs. Okay. So if you all don't have your systems down, or you're trying to figure out your way, like, well, what do we do now? Or we just kind of going through life and allowing the day to dictate your energy, the day to dictate your focus, well, you can stop that. Take a listen to episode 222 of the Marriedpreneur Life podcast. So you can get some very clear systems for quarter 4. And then ultimately, it's going to help you all prepare for going into the new year. So it's all good stuff there. So I want to make sure y'all are aware of that. And then also, if you won't have a marketing strategy and you're needing a template, we want to make sure that you all are aware of our free Marriedpreneur Blueprint that is specifically for married entrepreneurs specifically. So you can get yours totally free over at marriedpreneurlife.com. So I think those are all of our plugs before we
I
dive
think
in.
that's it.
Okay, y'all ready? So grab your pens, grab your papers, grab your, I know if you're using for IG, if you're using your phone, then you're on your phone, but grab something to take these notes down. And we're going to answer questions as we're going along too, because they're going to be really good. And these are simple. They work. We have used all these strategies. There are many strategies to use, you can use, but we're going to be just sharing with you the ones that we know we have used personally,
Yes.
that you all can dive right into as well. So we'll go ahead and start with our intro and then dive into the details too. And as you all are coming in too, let us know where you're coming in from. We love to hear all the good stuff, where you're flying, where you're listening in from. I said where you're flying in from. Okay, husband.
Ready?
You ready to go?
What's up, everybody? This is Oil Buckley
This is Sway
of
Buckley.
marriedpeneurlife.com. Yes, this is where we help mission-minded married entrepreneurs, those of you who want to get more clarity, generate more income, but above all of that, you really want to leave a lasting impact.
Yes, married entrepreneurs come to us to sync high-level systems with laser clear strategy to build out a solid legacy structure, and to do so peaceably and profitably. So, if you are a married entrepreneur, you are definitely in the right place. Marriedpreneurs are legacy builders. Now, it doesn't matter if you are an indiepreneur, a spousalpreneur, or a couplepreneur, or a combination of any of these. This episode is going to be so good to you all. So let me tell you, in case you don't know what the indie, spousal, or couplepreneurs are, I'll break that down real quick. And so you all can take it and know exactly what type of marriedpreneurs you are right now. You may be in transition as well too. So the indiepreneurs are the married entrepreneur couples where both spouses are building individual businesses. And then you have the spousalpreneurs. That's where one spouse is working and operating the business while the other spouse may be working a 9 to 5. And then you have the couplepreneurs. The couplepreneurs is where both spouses are working together in the same exact business. As I mentioned before, you can be multiples of these marriedpreneur types, or you may be in transition. We have been in all three of these marriedpreneur types, so we get it. We started off as spousalpreneurs and then transitioned to indiepreneurs, and then now couplepreneurs and indiepreneurs too, as well too. So let us know. We'd love to hear about it. I know we're coming in live today, so let us know in the comments. If you're a spousal, drop an S. You're indie, drop an I. If you're a couplepreneur, drop a C in the comments. Love to hear it. Either way, regardless, this right here is going to be amazing for you. So you want to just now, with that being said, let us know if y'all could hear us. If that's better for you, want to make sure you're all good. With that being said, okay, hopefully that's better now. I know some people were saying static, so we just unplugged one of the mics. So not sure if that was it, but we're gonna cut all this part out of the podcast. We want to make sure that it's clear. No need to go through the whole thing. Great, awesome, fabulous. Thank you for that feedback. So if you're watching, we got you. Okay. So with that being said, let's dive in to what we're talking about today. The time that we are recording this episode, we just I would say experienced the greatest social media shutdown since the beginning.
If you're on social media,
of time.
you know what we're talking about.
Yes. So Facebook, IG, WhatsApp, Messenger, all those minus Twitter, were all down for the majority of the day yesterday. And so, when we got back on, people are like, y'all all right out there? How y'all doing? How y'all feeling out there? It's been a minute. Are y'all okay? How's your day going? What's going on? And how are you dealing with all of the with all that time that you had? Like, were you stressing out? So all these people are talking about all the different things too. But then we realize that there are many marriedpreneurs, especially, that's where our focus is, many legacy builders who rely so heavily on social media to grow their business, that when that is the case, you find out that when something like what happened yesterday happens, how unreliable it really is, and how little power, actually no power, no control that you have actually. So, this is a great time to really, if that's you, to really reassess and to reposition yourselves to win by using other tools. And so today we're going to share 5 of these tools with you that are absolutely free to increase, of course, grow your business, but even more specifically, I would say create strategic visibility, and to do that in a very powerful, simple way. Okay.
Yeah. And I just want to add something to that. So we're not saying, nor are we inferring not to use social media.
No.
What we're really driving at is not to be dependent upon social media. So
Yes.
by all means, use it, just don't be dependent upon it, where that is your sole or even your primary way of getting that strategic visibility. Because as we all saw yesterday, we have no control over that. And when that happens, well, then you see what happens.
Yeah. So take note, okay? The only I would say social media is an amazing tool
Mhm.
for connecting with your people. But then the next step after you connect with them is to bring them right on over, bridge them right on over to your platform, whether that be, through your email list. Some people have text communities, but you want to bring them over ultimately. So when you bring them over to your platform, then you should be prepared for them. They're like coming into your home, your virtual home. And then as your guest, you have something to offer them of value. Okay, so you want to be thinking about this really strategically and not just like out here, oh, let me do this post, or trying to get the most followers, or trying to, do all the things that don't add up at the end of the day to really have an impact and increase in your business. Okay, and this does not matter what industry you're in. I should think that's important too, that we say that. It doesn't matter what industry you're in. It really just matters that you have a clear understanding, a clear strategy on how you are going to build and how you're going to use social media. So, we're not here to teach on that today. That's not what we're doing at all. We just want to give you all insight on how to be thinking about it, rightly thinking about it in a healthy way, and then give you other ways to build outside of the traditional, I guess you would say now it's traditional social media ways, right? To build outside of that. And when I say build, we're really talking about visibility, because yes, tons and billions of people are on social media, but they're also on other platforms as well. And so we don't want you all to overlook these. So here's the first one. Make sure you write these down. And you're not required to do all of these. We're just going to say pick the ones that you desire to work on, and we'll share more with that with you in a moment. So the first free tool that we want to share with you, that you definitely want to consider using outside, this is outside of social media, would be media. And that means in traditional media.
Traditional media.
Yeah, that means either contributing for maybe your local TV shows, national too. How about that? Hey, we are not playing small. So TV shows, contributing based on what it is that you all do and your specialty. The other one also radio interviews as well. Of course, we're talking strategic. So this is all with your market. And then, of course, writing articles. Magazines are still in print these days as well. And being able to write does not mean you have to actually pay for that. There are magazines in situations where you do, but many of them don't. Many of them are actually looking for great content producers and writers to contribute to their platform. So that's just one way. When we're talking about traditional media, there's so many different outlets and ways to do that.
Yeah, you could also use traditional media in the way of radio.
Yeah,
radio's. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we've done, and everything that we're sharing with you, we've done. Okay. And we've seen the results, and we've done it strategically, and we've done it where it wasn't strategic before we understood, oh, we need to be strategic with this. I remember one time we did a radio interview with on a platform that had tons of, listeners, but they weren't our people, but they were busy. Once they heard us on the radio, they started subscribing, and we're talking, to married entrepreneurs, and that's not who they were. And so then, of course, when we are creating value and already ready to offer them this value, then all these massive unsubscribes come, because they're like, I don't want this. But I'm like, why'd you sign up? But then we're like, well, why did we go on that show? Right. So just being very strategic about who you're connecting with and how you're connecting with them. The second tool that we want to share with you that you can create on your own, we've done this as well too, is a podcast tour.
Yeah, podcast tour is amazing because number one, depending on your product and service, what your business is, podcast listeners are a certain group of, like, they're a certain type anyway. And so being able to tour other people's podcasts really is helping you to serve other people's audiences. Yes. And by serving other people's audiences, then you get looked at as a resource for those audiences to then come and be served by you and by your business. So a podcast tour is a great way for you to span the globe right from one seat in your own home. And so
Yes.
that's the other obvious but yet beautiful benefit of doing a podcast tour, which is
Mm.
different in some instances, depending. In some instances, than say radio and television, that you actually do have a way to do it. And let me say this: you can actually do podcasts beautifully, even remote, while commuting. So it gives you a sense of being able to even
Oh, we're talking about the tour too. So you're being interviewed.
yes,
Mm.
you being interviewed on other
Mm.
people's shows,
Mm.
podcast shows. You can do that still in your own home, sitting still in your own home,
Mm.
STILL, or you could do that even commuting or traveling. You know, there's ways to do that. We've done podcast interviews in the airport before. We've done them.
Yeah, we
If I'm not
have.
mistaken, I think we did them on a train.
We have, but I'm not gonna say that do that. I mean, yeah, you
No, I'm not
can.
saying do that. I'm simply
We have
saying,
done it though, because
yeah,
we had to do it. I mean, that's the decision that we made at that time to do that. So, but it is there. That's an opportunity. And guess what? You don't have to have your own podcast to do a podcast tour. You will be the guest on other people's podcasts who are looking for people just like you all who are wanting to hear what you have to offer to their people. So you're going on their platform. And so it just makes things so much easier, but you're very strategic and clear about what you want and how you want to lead the people that who are listening, who are watching, however the platform may be, lead them to the next stage, which is to your platform, because you're offering some amazing value. Same thing that you're doing on social, but you don't need social to do it. You understand what I'm saying? So this is the same way or tool or way to use the tool of social, but it's outside of social. So we talked about the medias first. Y'all can put that in the comments too for people who are coming later and who may not have heard it. But media is going to be the first one. The second one is podcasting, and then the third, or podcast tour rather. The third one is amazing as well too, and that is being a guest blogger. Being a guest blogger on someone else's platform. There are so many blogs who have people who are looking for what it is that you all offer. They are looking, they are praying to God for a solution, and you all have the solution. They just don't know who you are. So they are problem aware. They are just not solution aware. And so once you connect with the blogs that are they're already created, so you don't have to go and create your own tribe in that way. You're actually creating it by connecting with these people. And so you're able to once again come and offer value. It's really all value based, because many people out here are not focused on value. They're focused on you taking or you getting what they want you to get, and you purchasing whatever it is that they're selling, even if that may not be to in your best interest. So when you are the one who comes with value first and offering real value, you are already are creating that know, like, and trust factor, and setting yourselves apart from others who are not doing, and many are not. So just being focused on offering value makes a huge difference. Okay, so blogging as well too, and I say yes, blogging, but guest blogging. So you're blogging on someone else's platform. Okay, so these are some other tools that you definitely want to have systems in place. It's not just do it one time, but really discern and consider which ones you want to focus on. So that's the third one. The fourth one that we have right here for you are strategic partnerships. This is good. This can go online. This can go offline. This can be if you're doing, I know a lot of times we've trained entrepreneurs, marriedpeneurs to connect in person, even especially pre-COVID, connect in person with other businesses who maybe they didn't do the same thing, but they complemented what they did, and they were able to do like pop-up shops together. So they brought their audience in, or they maybe already had a boutique and they sent an email out to their list. So that's pre-COVID stuff, but even online, even virtually, that can be done with today. And then there are still people like in-person events as well too, based on your comfort level. But just know, like, thinking differently is the whole point of this. Thinking differently and having, once again, you're offering value. So the two main things that you want to be doing across the board is offering value and then having a CTA. So you're offering value and then having a call to action. A call to action meaning you're calling them and you're telling them to take action. What is that action that you want them to take? Do you want them, if it's a live event, to come and sign up on your sheet? Do you want them to go to this website to get a free download? Like, what is it that you want them to do? To set up a comp strategy session? Like, what is it? Like, what you want? What do you want them to do? It's like, it's your world. So that's the beautiful thing. But just make sure that you have the value first. And then if they want more value, if they find it valuable, then they're going to take you up on the next step that you tell them to do. So that strategic can be offline in that way, but it also could be online, where let's say you're connecting with someone who has a list, an email list, a following that would love what it is that you have to offer. They love it, they want it, they just don't know that you exist. And so if you're able to have an opportunity to connect with this person or these people and offer value to their list in the form of, it could be, a blog, it could be a video training, it could be an audio training. It doesn't really matter how, but the main thing is that it is valuable, right? So you can do that online and offline, and they connect you with their people. They send it out on your behalf as well too. But you could also build, partnerships with them, so you can actually create an offer, like a package deal, where you come together with what they're doing, and because you all are similar but different enough to just bring even more massive value to their people, it works there too. They're like, so many ways to do this. Y'all hear what I'm saying? There's so many. It doesn't have to be complicated. I would say keep it super simple. We're just giving you the different ways that this type of visibility can be done, because then once that happens, then they know who you are, and then they're going to want to connect with you as well. And once again, you have your call to action and you build it there. This is very similar to that of social media when you're using it properly. Okay, so be mindful of that. So that's the fourth one.
Yep. And let me say one more thing to that fourth one.
Mm-hmm.
When you say similar but different enough, when you talk about strategic partnerships, the similar is that you guys service the same ideal clients.
Yes.
The difference is that your products and services are not in direct competition, but they actually complement the needs and the wants of those ideal clients. So that's what we mean by similar and different.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm so glad you said that. That's good. So just in case if you didn't get that, but hopefully that is clear, and let us know if you have any questions at all with that. Okay, so let's go to a fifth example. These are all things that we personally have done outside of social media that have truly boosted our, not just visibility, but our business, and in so many ways, in clientele, in income, in impact and influence, all of the things. Okay. And so the fifth way, another way, is by actually speaking, whether that be live events or virtual events. It could be speaking at, there's all these summits going on now. There's all these virtual events going on right now. And so same thing as being in a live situation, connecting with the ones who are hosting these, and being able to bring strategic value to their people is another way to work that out. Now, you can also look at different associations where your people are a part of, right? Different groups that they're already connected to, different places that they're already congregating. Like, just do a little bit of research, just a little bit of Google takes you a long way, right? And then it's a matter of you being clear on the value that you offer and connecting in that way. And so that can be a workshop that you could offer them. That could be some type of training, or, being a guest speaker for the month, or, there's all these different types of ways to offer value to your people. And based on what it is that you do and who you're connecting with, it's an easy link up. So those are 5 strategic ways to get even more visibility outside of social media. But these are not just ways, these are actually strategies and systems. And so we would say, like, don't look to do like all 5 of them. Look to say, okay, which one of these makes the most sense for us? And so we have some wealth role lessons, or wealth role combos, we would say, we want to share with you. And I think these are going to be even more insightful. These are 3 questions or things that you want to be talking about with your spouse, whether you're indie spouse or a couplepreneurs, when it comes to your visibility strategy. Want to have a clear a tracking system in place. That tracking system is going to be key. And so making sure that you're talking about that. What kind of tracking system are we going to use? It can be paper and pen, it can be whiteboard, it can be Excel, it can be Trello. It doesn't matter what the form is. Just make sure you have that. Okay, the other thing is your LHF, like your lowest hanging fruit. Who are the people that you already know who may already be connected in this way with these different associations or with the different groups, or you know somebody who knows somebody who can do a warm introduction, right? Who are the people? What is your lowest hanging fruit? And that's going to look different for every couple. And then also the reach out method, like who in your marriage, if especially if y'all are couplepreneurs, who would be taking the role on that? Or would it be would it be something that you would outsource because neither one of you would be taking that role? Or would you start with you all doing it, learn the ropes, get clear on what works for you, and then say, okay, now let's outsource somebody because we know what works for us, right? You want to be thinking about these things, and knowing like each one of these that we shared with you. You want to be clear on how to have the conversation, how to reach out, what to say, and do that, like, and actually follow through on that, and not to be fearful of the unknown, but really just saying, okay, having this relationship, building by offering value. So let's head over to the enjoying the journey together segment. Okay, guys. So that was the end of that. But we have like scripts and frameworks that we do for these different areas. These different, all five of these we have absolutely done, and definitely recommend that every married entrepreneur couple ties into one of these free areas. And also, not to mention, there are paid ones too. You could always do paid ads, and it doesn't have to be on social, right? It can be in the sense of like, it can be on Google. It can be even there are ads that you can do within emails for other emails to get in front of their audience as well. There's like so many different ways to do this, not to mention the traditional offline type of ads as well too. So just be mindful that there are so many ways to get in front of your people. Let us know if this has been helpful for you. Let us know in the comments. And then if you would like for us to come and share more as far as like the next step is the scripts, and how do we connect with the people, and what should we be saying, what not to say when you're connecting with someone new, how to offer value, how to find the value, how to make sure it's the right connection. If you're wanting more of that, let us know so we can look at doing another legacy live and going to like part 2 of this, so you all can just you can have your system and your strategy in place, and you're not handcuffed to social media, building your business off of social media alone. Okay, so let us know in the comments. It'll be our joy, our pleasure, if that's something that you all will want. Okay, is there anything else?
I think that's it. All right, so here's to living purposefully,
powerfully,
and profitably in sync.
All right, y'all, have a good one.